because we don't understand that a lot of times the suffering is stretching us, pulling us, and we're grinding and we're hustling and we're like, oh my God, like this is taking forever. God, like when is this going to end? I need you to fix this and fix this now. But what you guys got to, what I know I had to understand, and one of my friends said this, and this man isn't even saved, and this hit me so hard. He said, pressure brings diamonds. And I was like, pressure brings diamonds? What does that mean? And I remember I looked up, how do diamonds happen? They have to go through heat, they have to go through pressure, they have to be pushed, pulled, turned, and then they have to polish it. God does that to us every single day. The things that we don't understand, the things that are unknown, we have to sit back and say, you know what, God, this is your will. I want to be made into that shining diamond that you called me to be. I know this hurts, and I know this isn't great right now, but you know what? I know this is your will. And I know even if this continuously hurts for another 2 years, I know that all things work out to the greater good. He said, my word will never turn void. So if his word will never turn void and you continuously strive and to continue to be in that character of Christ, don't be scared. Don't get discouraged. Don't stop. Because that encouraging word will come when you least expect it. That miracle that you've been waiting for will always come when you least expect it. And through this suffering that Paul was talking about, your knowledge will continue to process. You'll continue to learn and grow. Have you ever noticed you learn more when you mess up, when you fail, than when you just do nothing? I never got that concept until I got older. I always felt like if I failed, I did nothing. But it's better to try and fail than to fail to try. I want you guys to clearly hear me when I say this. When you get scared, when you get nervous, when you get discouraged, that word will always uplift you. Pray. Ask God for that character. Ask for that integrity. Character and integrity are in the same family, but they're two different things. Integrity is, if I have a dartboard and I have 10 darts, and I hit that dartboard 7 times out of 10, that's very accurate. If I only hit it 2 times out of 10, that's weak. But if I'm trying to do, if my friend asks me, hey Jeff, can you do this weekend? And I say, yeah. And something else pops up, but I really want to do that other thing, but I gave my word to that other person. I have to tell, you know what? I know I want to do this, but I already gave my word to that person. Your word is all you have. And if you can't keep your word, then people won't trust you. You wonder why, like, I noticed for a long time, like, I had friends that we would never invite places. I was like, why don't we invite such and such? They're fun, they're funny. Like, why can't we have them around? But then I started noticing they either flaked, they were liars, they were cheaters, they were deceivers. All that stuff will get you on the outside. And you're on the outside looking in, and you're like, why am I on the outside looking in? Then you have to get back, like how Michael Jackson said it best, man in the mirror. I got to start singing that, man in the mirror. What is wrong with me to why people aren't accepting of me? Am I doing right or am I doing wrong? But if I know that what I'm doing is correct, what Christ asked me to do, and people are like, no, and I'm looking at what they're doing and their character and integrity isn't lined up, then I know that I'm okay. And I'll be at peace. Once you get that peace inside, you know you're going with the Holy Spirit. But if you're always upset, depressed about things, and my friends don't like me, my friends they've all of a sudden deserted me, they love God, they want to do the right things of God, man, maybe it's me. Self-inventory time. What am I doing that's causing my friends and my family to look at me differently than what they did before? Did I change? Because God never changes. We do. God never moves. We do. When he's sitting there trying to grab you and say, come on, son, come on, daughter, we got it, come on. And you're like, I'll do that later. That's when all of a sudden your character starts to mold into something else that you weren't supposed to be. Now, we're going to go to Titus 2:7-8. And I'm done. I promise you that. You guys get there? Say yeah, yeah. There? Yet? Yeah. Titus 2:7. All right. You're almost there, girl. Come on. You're almost there. All right. All right. Show yourself in all respect to be a model of good works, and in your teaching show integrity, dignity, and sound speech that cannot be condemned, so that an opponent may be put to shame, having nothing evil to say about us. Now, in Titus, they talk a lot to the bishops and the ushers and the deacons and the people, all the leaders. All the leaders have to be lined up. If they're not lined up, they have to sit down. They may have to be replaced. Why? Because their character didn't line up. And in Titus, when he says integrity, dignity, and sound speech that cannot be condemned, so that any opponent may be put to shame, having nothing evil to say about us. Have you ever noticed that there's certain people where you're just like, I have nothing bad to say about them? And it's very rare to find those type of people. But when you do, you're like, I love that person. Why do I just love them so much? Like, they're amazing. Why? Because they have great character. They have great integrity. Even if somebody has the worst, evil, deceitful heart, they have to respect you. Even if they don't like you. They don't like you because they hate you. Because they wish they could beat you. You have something that they wish they could beat. So when you notice somebody's bullying somebody, their character is really bullying. And the reason why they're bullying that person, for the simple fact of they have something that they wish they can do, or they wish they can be. When you see somebody doing things like that, or you see somebody picking on somebody, or whatever the case may be, it's always because they're overcompensating for something that they wish they can have that somebody else has. Like, I always noticed that when I was in high school, a lot of, like, the jocks and, like, the popular kids, if they ever mess with the nerds, they mess with them because they were getting straight A's, and these cats were getting D's and C's. They wish they could have the smarts that these guys have. They wish they can have the work ethic. They can have the same thing that they have, but they choose not to. Why? Because they're lazy. Lazy people run away from pain. If you are scared of pain, then you're scared to have great character and integrity. Because character and integrity causes you to do the right thing. And sometimes doing the right thing is really hard to do. It's very hard to tell somebody that you love, like you've grown up with this person, but you know they're doing wrong. But it's hard to say, man, like, you know what? Nah, I can't roll with you tonight because you know what? That ain't what I'm supposed to be. That's not where I'm supposed to be. And it's really hard sometimes, and it's a lot easier to do the evil things. Because evil things is the easy way out. It's a shortcut, but little do you know, with that shortcut, there's a lot of things that you're going to endure that you didn't have to endure. Well, God said, why are you going there? I don't want you to do that. There's a longer path, but through that narrow path, You won't be touched, you won't be harmed, and you'll be stretched and molded to something great. So now, with that being said, do you guys have a different outlook on character and integrity now? Do you now, with the real definition of what God has called you to be as a great character, have a great character and integrity as men and women in Christ? Glad. Now, if any of you guys have fallen away from Christ, don't really know Christ, you're willing, and your heart has been changed, and you want prayer,